That one seed should be sown and another plant be produced. Such a thing cannot happen. Whatever seed is planted, that is the plant which will grow. These are the timeless words of Guru Nanak, and I invite you to pause on them for a moment. Think of your mind as a field. Think of your thoughts as seeds. Whatever you plant, they will eventually grow. If you plant roses, roses will bloom. If you plant thorns, thorns will spread. Hello and welcome to the Infinite Learning, the space where we explore powerful ideas, practical tools, and timeless wisdom that help you grow both personally and professionally. I'm your host Monisha Mitra, and every week I bring you conversations and reflections that are designed to spark curiosity, shift perspectives, and inspire you to take meaningful action. Now, before we dive into today's episode, let me share something with you. The reason this podcast exists is simple. I believe that we all have untapped potential waiting to be unlocked. Sometimes all it takes is the right insight, the right practice, or even the right story to change the way we see ourselves and the world around us. So if you're new here, welcome to the community. And if you've been listening for a while, thank you for being on this journey with me. So grab a notebook, settle into your space, and let's get started. When the lockdown happened, many of us discovered parts of ourselves we had ignored for years. Some of my friends became bakers, some turned into dancers, comedians, and even TikTok stars. And then there were people like me who became gardeners. Now, I'll be honest, my gardening journey didn't begin gracefully. The first time I tried, I was so impatient I kept checking my pots every few hours. I'd water them, adjust their position in the sun, almost like an overprotective parent. And then one morning, I saw it. The tiniest, most beautiful green shoot pushing its way through the mud. That moment was magical, a reminder that nature unfolds in its own time. And just like that little seed, our thoughts also take root quietly. Sometimes we don't even notice when they start sprouting, whether they are thoughts of possibility or thoughts of fear. Let's linger on this image of gardening. You prepare the soil, mix the khad, the coco peat, the fertilizer, you make the pot ready, you water the seed, you let the sun light it, and you wait. Would you ever pour acid into that pot? Or deliberately place stones in it? Of course not. Because you know the plant's survival depends on what you give it. Yet, when it comes to our mind, we often forget this truth. We pour in guilt, regret, negativity, self-criticism, constant comparison, and then we wonder why our mental garden feels heavy, lifeless, or overrun with weeds. Neuroscientists talk about neuroplasticity. Simply put, it means the brain rewires itself constantly. Every time you think a thought, you strengthen a connection. Just like watering a seed, you encourage it to grow. So when you dwell on negative thoughts, they grow stronger roots. But when you nurture empowering, positive thoughts, you create fertile soil for growth. So I want you to pause and reflect. What are the thoughts you've been watering recently? Are they seeds of courage and hope? Or are they seeds of fear, doubt, comparison, and negativity? Take a deep breath here. Inhale and exhale slowly. Imagine yourself standing in a garden. Look around. What grows there? Are there weeds? Are there flowers? Is there balance? I once worked with a client who carried deep regret about a mistake at work. Every day she would replay that moment in her mind, watering it with shame and embarrassment. And soon it became the strongest plant in her inner garden. It overshadowed her talents, her creativity, and her joy. When we began working together, we focused on pulling out that weed. How? By planting new seeds, affirmations of self-worth, small daily wins, acts of self-compassion. Over time, the weed loosened and she began to bloom again. So here are some practical tools for what you feed your mind. So how do you feed your mind well? Just as a gardener uses sunlight, water, and nutrients, we too have tools. 1. Positive affirmations, which are words, are powerful fertilizer. Saying to yourself, I am enough. I trust the timing of my life. I allow myself to grow. This shifts your inner soil. 2. Mindful breathing. Just 5 minutes of focused breathing clears mental weeds. Each inhale brings fresh energy. Each exhale releases what no longer serves you. Journaling. Write down the thoughts circling in your head. When they're on paper, they lose their grip. Trust me, I do it all the time. 4. The practice of gratitude. Name 3 things that you're grateful for each day, like planting wildflowers in your garden. They spread beauty naturally. 5. Boundaries. Protect your mind from toxic influences. Just as you shield plants from harsh winds, this could mean limiting news intake or gently distancing yourself from negative people. Now, to help you along, let's do a short exercise together. If you're in a safe and quiet place, close your eyes. Imagine yourself holding a handful of seeds. Each seed represents a positive quality you'd like to grow. Patience, joy, resilience, love, forgiveness. Now picture yourself planting those seeds into the soil of your mind. With every inhale, you water them. With every exhale, you remove weeds of doubt, fear, anger. See those new seeds sprouting, reaching for the sunlight, filling your inner garden with fresh energy. Take a deep breath. Hold it. And release. Gardening also teaches us patience. No plant grows overnight. No fruit ripens instantly. Likewise, personal growth requires time, care, and consistency. Some seasons will feel dry, others abundant. But as long as you keep tending, your garden will respond. So I want you to ask yourself, what weeds are you ready to remove from your mind today? What one positive seed would you plant this week? And how will you water it daily? Your mind is the only place you'll truly live for the rest of your life. So make it a place worth living in. Feed it with compassion, nurture it with kindness, protect it with healthy boundaries, and watch how beautifully you bloom. So my question to you today is simple. What are you growing in your mind? And that brings us to the end of today's episode of The Infinite Learning. I hope you're leaving this conversation with fresh insights and a few practical takeaways you can try right away. If you found value in this episode, share it with a friend or colleague who needs it. Subscribe or follow the podcast so you don't miss future episodes. And if you're feeling really generous, leave a review. It helps this show reach more people who are on the same path of growing and learning. What resonated most with you today? What stories or experiences came to mind while listening? You can connect with me on most social platforms. Search for The Infinite Learning or email me at monisha@theinfinitelearning.com. Remember, growth doesn't happen in a day, but it does happen every day. When you commit to showing up for yourself in small, consistent ways. Thank you for spending your time with me. Until the next time, keep learning, keep growing, keep showing up for yourself as your best self.